Hello everyone, in this video we're rebuilding this beautiful header section by Long Weekend with a nice background video, some product and lifestyle photography, and then some text and a call to action button to the products. So let's get started within the instant builder. To get started, let's first drag in our base row, set the height to fill, and then we can change the fill to a color, to an image, and also to a video. And to get the video right here with an instant, you simply need to copy and paste the asset link from Shopify. So if you have your assets within Shopify, you can get the link right there, and then you simply paste it here within instant. So let's do that right here, and there we go. Next, we need to drag in a bunch of columns, because as you can see right here, we have 3 different columns. But the thing is that these 3 columns don't behave in the same way, because if we take a look at responsiveness, we're inspecting this right now and then set the dimension to an iPhone, you can see that these 2 images stay next to each other, so their direction is still horizontal, while the sort of text block gets placed underneath. So they don't behave in the same way, because if they would behave in the same way, the images would also be underneath each other, but that doesn't happen. So to accomplish this, we need to sort of treat them in a different way. So instead of dragging 3 different columns in the builder, we will drag in 2 columns, change the height to fill, and then in this column on the left, we drag in 2 other columns. Change the height to fill, and then we say that this column here on the left can occupy 66% of the space available, and the other space is left to the column on the right. And if we do this, so we change the width to relative and change to 66%, delete the fill color, we can see that we have created 3 equal columns where we can sort of edit the sections of the columns here on the left, these 2 separately from this column on the right, which we need to do to make this nice and responsive, just as I did on the Long Weekend site. So now let's first add some spacing inside, because as you can see right here, there is some space between the edge and then this first column with the image. So to do this, let's change the spacing inside to top and bottom 40 and also left and right 40, and we're already getting a little bit closer to the end result. This column on the left is filled with an image, so let's do that as well. It's this image right here. So let's go over to fill, change it from a color to an image, then choose the correct image, which is this one, and it also has a border. So let's enable border. I think it's a width of 1 and it's a black border. So there we go. And let's do the same one for this other column right here. Change the fill from a color to an image, choose the correct image, and here we go. Then this column here on the right has text, has more text, then a button, and then some star icons and some more text. So let's drag it in. Let's drag in some header text, some regular text, I could say, then the button underneath, and then we drag in a row. So within this row, we can insert icons. Duplicate this icon, we can see that it places the icons underneath each other, so the direction is set to vertical. Change it to horizontal, remove the minimum height, and then place some text to the left right here. And here we go. It doesn't look pretty yet, but we do have the structure in place. So now let's make it look a bit more pretty. If we go back, we can see some spacing between the outer edge of this column and then where the elements within sort of are placed. We can see that the opacity is not 100 because we can see through it. It has a border and it's white. So let's do the same thing. Change the fill color to white. Change the opacity to 90. Then change some inside spacing 20 by 20 or 36 looks better, I think. And let's copy and paste some text. Hydrate your skin for a radiant glow. Who doesn't want that? Then close your eyes. Oh, there we go. And then shop face balm. Shop face balm. And this set 4.9 out of 5. Then let's add the border really quickly by simply enabling border, and then change the font of this text to the cabinet font. Make sure that now it's on 4 lines, it needs to be in 3 lines. So I think this is right. Align from the center, there we go. Change the color right here and the font as well. Also center align. For the button, it's a black button. It doesn't have a radius, so let's remove the radius of 8, change to 0. And it also has a bit more space between the text and then the outer edge of the button. So let's do that by changing the inside spacing from 16 to 36. This looks about right. And then to place this button in the middle of this column, we need to set the overall alignment to the center. There we go. This is looking good. And then first delete this first icon, look up the star icon, set the star to fill, change the color to black, and it's way too big right now. So let's change it to 15 by 15. And now it's time to duplicate 3, 4, 5. This font needs to be changed still. Cabinet color black. Let's also set the alignment to the center and change the gap between the different icons and the text to, I would say 8. Yes, this looks good. Distribute also from the center, and there we go. Then we should also change the distribution of this entire column right here to the center, and now this is starting to look pretty good. Maybe one thing is, yes, right here there's not so much space in between the different elements, so let's change that as well. It's now set to 32. Let's change it to 16. Yes, this looks good. Then we also need to add this little location indicator on the bottom. So let's do that as well. Close this right here and then drag in a row. It should be within this one. So there we go. In this row, let's drag a icon. This is a circle icon. Look it up. There we go. Change it to fill, and it has some sort of bluish color. Yes, like this. Then let's drag our text next to it, or now it's underneath, so we need to change the direction to horizontal, change the fill color to white, opacity to 90 because we need to be able to look through it. 95 looks better for this small location indicator. And then set the width. Now it's set to 100%, but let's change it to fit, so it snaps to the sort of the length or the width of the content within, the elements within, and delete the minimum height. Align from the center, change the gap a little bit so it's closer to each other, and then this circle is still way too big. 20 by 20 should do, and the text right here is Saint Bart's, and then the font, cabinet color black. Then we need to add a bit of inside spacing, 5 and 10, and change the radius to 99 so it's nice and round. And I think this way it looks I would say 101 to this side right here. Now let's take a look at responsiveness. This is looking good. Now we go to the laptop view and this is starting to look a little bit weird. So let's change the size of this text to 36. So it's in 3 lines. Let's also decrease this size by 14. Same for this right here to 14. Yeah, then this looks good. Then we go to the iPad view and here it's starting to look really weird. So what we need to do is change the direction from horizontal, so now it's next to each other, to vertical, so it's underneath each other. And then we can set the width, which we first set to 66% of the space, available to 100%, and now it already looks better. We should change the spacing inside a little bit here in this view because this looks weird. Let's change it to 80. This looks better for a radiant glow, and then also click on enter right here. We can change the spacing a little bit. It's now set to 32, so let's change to 16, and then also this gap right here to 16. Yes, there we go. Now let's take a look at the mobile viewport, and here we should also change back actually the spacing inside. Now it's in 3 rows, which looks great, and perhaps we can change the gap right here to 8. Yes, and well, this actually looks pretty good. Maybe this can go there. Yes, there we go. Yes, this looks pretty nice. So let's go over the viewports one more time. There we go, and there we go. This looks really nice. So that's it for the video. I hope you have a good understanding on how you can accomplish something like this yourself, and good luck.